Is now plagued by criminal elements. Residents of Barberton say the justice system is failing them. They say many cases go unpunished and the perpetrators are found roaming the streets again. On Monday, 2 suspected criminals were killed and burned, allegedly by community members. According to the residents, guns and drugs are a huge challenge in the area.
Our problem in Barberton is the firearms. It's too much firearms. And the killings of people, it's too much. So, but the justice system, they're failing us as the community of Barberton because they are busy with the gold, whatsoever. But when you talk about you're talking about the killing of people in location or everywhere. They don't care about that. The police, they arrest you today. When they go to the court, tomorrow you're out.
Crime is so bad in Barberton, it's now like a pandemic. It has become our daily bread. While guns are a chorus, a national anthem. Every day the sun sets, gunshots start. We even know what kind of gun is fired just by hearing the gunshots. This has now started to affect our children as they tell us to go indoors so we don't get killed.
Our court is completely corrupt. If you go there, we've called upon crime bills or with the police forums, commitments were made, cases were submitted. Till today, those reports are not coming back.
On Monday, Linah Madonsela and his son, Lucky Zulu, were shot and killed during a house robbery. The family has been left devastated. It broke our hearts to hear what happened in this house, but what brings us comfort is that our aunt fought for herself and died with her killers. The community stood up and burned them. Our hearts feel better because the families of the perpetrators will also feel the pain we feel. We are sad that they even shot a 12-year-old who knows nothing over money. They took everything during the robbery. It hurts a lot. Attempts to get a comment from the police and the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development were unsuccessful. Nonhlanhla, Jele, SABC News, Barberton, Mpumalanga.
Right, let's speak to SABC News reporter Nonhlanhla Jele, who joins us for more. Nonhlanhla, very good evening to you. I mean, you have been interacting with community members who are clearly fed up. They're saying enough is enough, and they're saying that the justice system is failing the community of Barberton. What did you encounter on the ground?
Indeed, good evening to you and to the viewers at home. Sad state of affairs happening there in Barberton. I mean, when you go to the community and start speaking to the people who've lived there for years now, they'll tell you that the town is actually not what it used to be. I mean, Barberton is relatively small, and what we are seeing or hearing now on the ground is people are tired, people are fed up. I mean, the incident that happened on Monday with the community taking matters into their own hands, as you read in the intro, those 2 suspected criminals who were killed by the community and also burned. It says a lot. It says that there's a problem, there's an issue. We're hearing on the ground that drugs are all over Barberton now. Criminal elements, guns as well. I mean, in the past we did see, and I've covered several stories with community members saying that gangs are coming into the schools now and using school kids, to try and infiltrate the school system, also threatening the teachers. Now we are seeing that guns are all over Barberton. I mean, just in the story that you played now, some of the community members saying to us that now they are able to tell what kind of a gun is actually being fired, not seeing it, just by hearing the gunshots whenever they are home. So it's quite problematic as we are seeing on the ground in Barberton. And it's not only that's not the only problem in this relatively small community, the issue of the Zamazamas as well. I mean, in the past couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of them coming out from the Barberton mines in the surrounding areas. And of course, community members going back to tell us that one thing is a problem in Barberton at this point, the issue of unemployment. The high unemployment rate in that community is quite saddening. I mean, just this afternoon, when we were driving around Barberton, a lot of young people are unemployed. They are sitting in the corners. Every corner that you pass for, you see young people sitting there holding alcohol in their hands. And it goes back to say that now it makes sense why the community in some parts will say that is why there's so much illegal mining happening, because now people don't have jobs. So they go back and they try to fend for their families. And I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we saw the ANC of Community Safety, Jele, saying that he's also concerned, as the law enforcement in the province, they are concerned about the number of guns that are circulating in Barberton, saying that there's actually more guns than there are people in Barberton. So of course, it is a concern. Older people especially are concerned about this issue of crime, criminal elements that are taking place in Barberton. Just Monday, we saw a mother and a son being shot and killed. Also, a 12-year-old in the same family was also shot and killed. So it's quite a concern, and it seems as if it's continuing to grow, and community members don't know what to do anymore.
And that the police have warned residents, in the midst of the crime and residents taking the law into their own hands, warning that vigilantism is also a crime. Have any arrests been made as police try and probe the incident?
What we do know at this point is that nobody has been arrested, especially for the vigilantism that we saw happening in the area on Monday, where the 2 people were burnt or killed and then burnt. But what we do know is that a 3rd suspect is under police guard in hospital. However, police have not made any arrests, especially in capturing any community member or anybody, especially for the killings of those 2 suspects. Of course, even community members themselves who are condemning this thing of having turned to vigilantism or mob justice to try and fight for themselves, saying they're doing everything they can. However, it seems as if the police are also not coming to the party. One community member saying to us, it seems as if the police have taken a backseat because of the criminal activities that are happening in Barberton. But one thing I can confirm is that as we were driving around in the same area, we did see quite a number of police visibility and quite a number of police cars, roaming around the streets as well, just checking what is happening around in Barberton. Also, what is quite interesting that we heard from the community members is that they are complaining about Barberton Magistrates Court. They're saying that that court is actually failing the community. The reason for this vigilantism that we saw on Monday was because of a part of that Barberton Magistrates Court is not doing what it's supposed to do. Community members are saying that court is mainly focused on prosecuting or dealing with illegal mining issues. But people who commit murder, people who commit house robberies in Barberton, in the community, they get arrested today. Tomorrow they see them roaming the streets again. So part of the reason why the community now is moving to take matters into their own hands is because of such, saying that the court is not doing much for them to try and solve this issue of arresting. They say numerous people have been found with guns on them, of course, illegal guns, but they are arrested today and tomorrow they are back on the streets. But of course, police are on the ground, as we have seen even this afternoon, and of course, concerned as well about the vigilantism that is taking place in Barberton.
Very well. Thank you so much for that update. SABC News reporter Nonhlanhla Jele giving us a sense of the resident sentiments in Barberton, Mpumalanga, as crime escalates in their community.